There are 5 luxury SUVs sitting on used car lots right now that nobody is looking at. I mean, truly collecting dust. Salespeople are marking them down every 2 weeks, and they still just sit there while people walk right past them to overpay for a BMW X5 with 90,000 miles and a maintenance history that reads like a horror novel. These are not broken vehicles. These are not luxury in name only. I am talking about SUVs that stickered for $55,000 to $75,000 brand new, loaded with premium leather, adaptive suspension, panoramic roofs, and technology that would make a Mercedes owner jealous. And they are selling right now for $18,000 to $30,000 because of one simple problem. The badge on the hood does not impress people at the country club. After more than 2 decades of working on everything from base model Corollas to 6-figure Range Rovers, I can tell you something that most people do not want to hear. The luxury SUVs that hold their value the best are not always the ones that cost the least to own. And the ones that depreciate the hardest are sometimes the smart money you will ever spend. Today, I am counting down 5 forgotten luxury SUVs the market left behind. Why they are rotting on lots and exactly why you should buy them before everybody else figures it out. I am going deepest on number 1 because that is the one I would buy with my own money tomorrow. Let us get into it. Number 5. Buick Enclave. I know I said the word Buick and half of you just checked out. You are picturing your grandfather's sedan with the vinyl roof and the tissue box on the rear dash. Stay with me here because the 2018 to 2022 Buick Enclave, especially in Avenir trim, is one of the most underpriced 3-row luxury SUVs you can buy today, and it is not even close. A customer came to me about 8 months ago. A woman in her late 30s, 2 kids, needed a reliable 3-row SUV with a nice interior because she was driving clients around for her real estate business. She was looking at a 2020 Lexus RX 350. I told her the RX does not even have a 3rd row. She then shifted to a used BMW X7, priced at $42,000. I asked her what her maintenance budget was. She looked at me like I was speaking a foreign language. I pulled up an Enclave Avenir on my phone. 2020, 38,000 miles, every option you can name. Quilted leather seats, a Bose premium sound system, a hands-free power liftgate, heated and ventilated front seats, a surround vision camera system, and a whisper-quiet cabin Buick specifically engineered with active noise cancellation. The price was $22,400. She almost did not believe me. Here is what nobody tells you about the 2nd-generation Enclave. Underneath all that Buick badging sits General Motors' proven 3.6 LV6. This is the same engine family that powers the Chevrolet Traverse and the GMC Acadia, and it has been in continuous production and refinement for years. It makes 310 horsepower, pairs with a 9-speed automatic, and while it is not the most exciting powertrain in the world, it is thoroughly proven. Timing chain driven, no turbo to fail, no supercharger to service. Just a naturally aspirated V6 doing what naturally aspirated V6s do, running for a very long time without drama. The Enclave's average annual maintenance cost runs about $640. According to RepairPal data, which is actually below the $694 average for all vehicles. Insurance is reasonable too, sitting near the national average at roughly $1,650 a year, thanks to its strong safety ratings, including top marks from the IIHS in most crash categories. So, why is it rotting? Because it says Buick. That is it. The average buyer under 50 does not walk into a Buick dealer. They do not consider it. They do not even know the Enclave exists, and that ignorance is your discount. A 2020 Enclave Avenir with under 60,000 miles is going for $20,000 to $25,000 right now. A comparable 2020 Lexus TX did not exist yet, and a BMW X7 of the same year with similar miles is north of $40,000 easily. And that BMW will cost you double in maintenance within 2 years. I have seen it happen over and over again. If you are shopping for one, check the transmission fluid condition on anything over 70,000 miles. Some early 2nd-generation models had 9-speed transmission quirks, mostly software-related, and most were addressed with dealer updates. Look for service records that show the updates were done. Also, inspect the timing chain for any rattle on cold starts. It is rare on these, but if you hear it, walk away. Other than that, these things are straightforward and cheap to fix when they do need work. Who should buy it? Anyone who wants genuine luxury space for 7, a quiet ride, a loaded interior, and does not care about impressing strangers. Who should skip it? If you need something that will hold its value for a quick flip in 3 years, this is not it. Buicks depreciate hard and fast, but if you are buying to keep, the math is overwhelmingly in your favor for reliability and value. Number 4. The Volvo XC90. The second-generation Volvo XC90 from 2018 to 2021 is the SUV that makes every safety-conscious parent's eyes light up and every badge-chasing buyer look the other way. These things stickered between $55,000 and $75,000 new. Right now, a 2019 T6 Inscription with 65,000 miles is selling for $22,000 to $27,000. That is a $30,000 to $40,000 discount on an SUV that is, by nearly every measurable metric, one of the safest vehicles ever built. Volvo redesigned the XC90 from the ground up for the 2016 model year, and it was genuinely revolutionary. They built it on their new scalable product architecture platform, which was completely new at the time. The T6 powertrain is a 2.0L four-cylinder engine, both supercharged and turbocharged. I know what you are thinking. A four-cylinder in a luxury SUV sounds like a compromise. It is not. That little engine puts out 316 horsepower and 295 pound-foot of torque. It will tow 5,000 pounds, and at our Edmunds test track, it hit 60 miles per hour in 6.3 seconds. That is quicker than most naturally aspirated V6 competitors in its class. Now, let me be straight with you about reliability, because the XC90 is not perfect, and I refuse to pretend it is. RepairPal gives the XT90 a 3.5 out of 5 reliability score, which lands it in the middle of the pack for luxury midsize SUVs. Average annual maintenance costs run about $851, higher than a Japanese competitor. There have been documented issues with the automatic emergency braking engaging unexpectedly on some 2016 models, which is exactly why I am telling you to start your search at 2018. By then, Volvo had sorted out the early software bugs and refined the platform significantly. The 2020 models got a mid-cycle refresh with an updated infotainment system and mild hybrid drivetrains, making them particularly appealing if your budget stretches that far. Expect to pay $26,000 to $32,000 for a clean 2020 with moderate miles. Here is the real question. Why is this rotting on lots? 3 reasons. First, people are scared of Swedish car maintenance costs. And honestly, they are not wrong to be cautious, but they are also overestimating the problem. This is not your dad's Volvo with impossible-to-source parts. Modern Volvo parts are widely available, and most independent shops can service them competently. Second, the badge does not carry the same status as BMW, Mercedes, or Audi in America. Third, the resale value has been falling for years, which scares off buyers who think depreciation equals unreliability. It does not. It equals opportunity. When shopping for one, stick with the T6 engine over the T5 for the extra power. Avoid the T8 plug-in hybrid unless you are prepared for the added complexity of the hybrid battery system. Check the supercharger for any whining noises beyond normal operation. Test the air suspension if equipped, because it is an expensive fix if it fails. And always get a pre-purchase inspection from a Volvo specialist, not a general mechanic. The interior of the XC90, even on 2018 models, will embarrass German competitors that cost $15,000 more. The Orfors crystal gear shifter on Inscription trims, the Bowers & Wilkins audio system, the 4-zone climate control, the minimalist Scandinavian design. It feels like sitting in a $70,000 vehicle because it was one. You are just not paying $70,000 anymore. Number 3. Cadillac XT6. If the Buick Enclave is the luxury SUV nobody considers, the Cadillac XT6 is the luxury SUV nobody remembers. Cadillac launched the XT6 in 2020 as a 3-row mid-size luxury SUV slotting between the smaller XT5 and the full-size Escalade. It was supposed to compete with the Acura MDX, the Audi Q7, and the Volvo XC90. Instead, it landed with a thud. Not because it is bad, it is actually quite good.
but because Cadillac could not figure out how to market it, and the buying public could not figure out why it existed, when the Escalade was right there being the Escalade.
That marketing confusion is now your financial gain. A 2021 Cadillac XT6 premium luxury with 45,000 miles, you are looking at $25,000. That same SUV stickered for $54,000 to $58,000 when new. That is nearly 50% depreciation in 4 years. Under the hood is GM's familiar 3.6 LV6, making 310 horsepower paired with a 9-speed automatic and available all-wheel drive. Yes, it is the same engine family as the Enclave, and yes, that is a good thing. It is proven. Parts are everywhere, and any competent shop in America can work on it. What makes the XT6 different from the Enclave is the refinement. The interior materials are genuinely a step up. The noise insulation is better. The available magnetic ride control adaptive dampers on sport trim models make it handle remarkably well for its size. Cadillac's Super Cruise semi-autonomous driving system was available on higher trims, and it is legitimately one of the best hands-free highway driving systems in the industry. Maintenance costs are reasonable for a Cadillac. We are not talking Escalade-level expense here. Brake pads, oil changes, transmission fluid services, these are all standard GM prices because that is what it is underneath. You are paying Cadillac money for the interior, not the mechanics. The weak spot? Infotainment. The early CUE system on some Cadillacs was notoriously frustrating. By 2020, they had moved to a much improved touchscreen system, but still check that everything works smoothly before buying. Also, some owners report minor electrical gremlins, typical of first-year models in 2020. The 2021 and 2022 examples are cleaner in this regard. If you are shopping for a 3-row luxury SUV and you have $28,000 to spend, the XT6 gives you more luxury per dollar than almost anything else on the market. The problem is that nobody walks onto a Cadillac lot looking for an XT6. They want the Escalade, and that invisibility is what is keeping these things affordable. Number 2. Genesis GV80. This is the one that makes car enthusiasts pay attention and everyone else say, Genesis? Is that the Bible company? No, it is Hyundai's luxury division. And the GV80 is arguably the most undervalued luxury midsize SUV on the market right now. When Genesis launched the GV80 in 2021, automotive journalists lost their minds. Car and Driver called it the best luxury 3-row SUV you could buy. It won comparison tests against BMW X5 and Mercedes GLE. It was praised for its stunning interior, its powerful engines, its advanced technology, and its aggressive pricing that undercut the Germans by $5,000 to $10,000, even when new. And then it depreciated anyway because it says Genesis, a 2022 GV83.5T Prestige, the one with the twin-turbo 3.5 LV6, making 375 horsepower, all-wheel drive, quilted Nappa leather, a 14.5-inch infotainment screen, a 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster, highway driving assist, and ventilated seats front and rear is selling right now for $33,000 to $38,000. That SUV had a manufacturer's suggested retail price of around $65,000 to $72,000. That is a staggering amount of luxury for the money. Let me talk engines for a second because this matters. The base 2.5L turbocharged 4-cylinder makes 300 horsepower. That is not a compromise engine. That is more power than what many competitors put in their mid-range trims. But the real star is the 3.5L twin-turbo V6. This engine shares its DNA with Hyundai and Kia's thoroughly tested Lambda platform. It is powerful, smooth, refined, and has none of the teething issues that plagued some earlier Hyundai turbo engines. Paired with an 8-speed automatic and rear-biased all-wheel drive, the GV80 drives more like a BMW than most BMWs do these days. Reliability data so far is encouraging. Genesis as a brand has been climbing JD Power dependability rankings, and the GV80 specifically has earned strong initial quality scores. And here is the kicker. Genesis offers a 5-year, 60,000-mile basic warranty and a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Even on a used GV80, if you are within those windows, you are covered. That is the same coverage structure as Kia and Hyundai, and it should give you serious peace of mind. Why is it rotting? Brand perception. That is the entire answer. People spending $35,000 on a used luxury SUV want the BMW Roundel, the three-pointed star, or at minimum the Lexus L. They do not want to explain to their neighbors what a Genesis is. And that snobbery is costing them $15,000 to $20,000 in unnecessary spending. If you are shopping for a GV80, find one with a 3.5T engine if your budget allows. It transforms the driving experience. Check that all recall work has been completed since there have been a handful of minor recalls, mostly software-related, and inspect the paint carefully because some owners have reported minor clear coat issues on darker colors. Beyond that, these are brilliantly engineered vehicles that happen to wear a badge America has not fully accepted yet. Their loss, your gain. All right, that was number 2. Before I get to number 1, if this kind of straight talk is helping you make smarter decisions, hit subscribe. I have got more content coming on exactly which SUVs are actually worth your money and which ones are draining your bank account now. Number 1. This is the forgotten luxury SUV I have recommended more than any other. The one I have personally put customers into and watched them come back years later with nothing but oil changes on the service record. And almost everyone pushes back when I first suggest it. Number 1. Acura MDX. Number 1 is a 3-row luxury SUV built by Honda, powered by one of the most reliable V6 engines ever mass-produced, loaded with technology that was ahead of its time, wrapped in an interior that's nicer than people expect. And it's selling for $8,000 to $12,000 less than comparable Lexus models because the American public thinks Acura is just a fancy Honda. And you know what? It is. That's the entire point. That's why it's brilliant. Specifically, I'm talking about the third-generation MDX from 2017 to 2020. These came standard with the Honda J35 Y3.5 LV6. If you know engines, you already know why I'm excited. The J-Series V6 from Honda is one of the most proven, bulletproof six-cylinder engines in automotive history. It has powered the Honda Pilot, the Honda Odyssey, the Honda Ridgeline, and the Acura TLX across millions of vehicles. Timing chain driven. No timing belt to replace. No turbo to fail. Direct injection on some models improved efficiency, but the basic architecture has been refined over decades. I have personally seen these engines exceed 300,000 miles with nothing more than regular oil changes and basic maintenance. The transmission in the 2017 and newer MDX is a 9-speed automatic for front-wheel drive models, or a 10-speed automatic for super-handling all-wheel drive models from 2020 onward. The 2017 to 2020 models use a well-sorted 9-speed that, after its initial calibration updates in 2016, has proven to be smooth and reliable. Acura's super-handling all-wheel drive system is genuinely brilliant. It does not just send power to the rear wheels when the front ones slip. It actively distributes torque between the left and right rear wheels to improve cornering. The MDX handles better than any 3-row SUV in its class has a right to. This is the SUV that Acura developed on the Nürburgring. I'm not making that up. Now, let me hit you with the numbers because this is where the MDX becomes irresistible. A 2019 Acura MDX with the technology package and 65,000 miles is selling for $22,000 to $26,000 right now. The same year Lexus RX 350, with comparable miles, goes for $28,000 to $33,000. And that Lexus does not even have a third row. A 2019 BMW X5X Drive 40i with similar mileage is $28,000 to $35,000, and the maintenance costs on that BMW over the next 3 years will make you physically ill. RepairPal gives the Acura MDX a 4 out of 5 reliability rating and ranks it in the top 10 for luxury midsize SUVs. The best model years for reliability are 2018 through 2020, which is precisely the sweet spot I'm recommending. Annual maintenance costs average significantly less than the segment average. The probability of a major repair is lower than the class average. Parts are Honda parts, which means they're available everywhere and priced reasonably. Any Honda or Acura dealer can service it, and so can virtually every independent shop in the country. Here's my inspection checklist for a used MDX. First, check for any variable cylinder management issues on models built before 2018. VCM shuts down cylinders to save fuel, and it caused some oil consumption concerns in earlier models. 2018 and newer models largely resolve this, but always check oil levels and ask for consumption history. Second, test the infotainment system. The 2017 to 2020 MDX uses a dual-screen setup with a touchpad interface that many people found frustrating to use. It works, it is just not intuitive. Make sure both screens function and the navigation loads correctly. This is not a mechanical issue, but it is the #1 complaint from MDX owners. Acura fixed it entirely for $22,002 with a proper touchscreen. Third, listen for any clicking or clunking from the front suspension. Some MDX models developed minor front suspension noise from worn stabilizer bar end links. It is about a $200 fix, but worth catching during inspection. Fourth, and this is my pro tip, find one with the technology package or advanced package. These came standard with Acura Watch, which includes adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, forward collision warning, and automatic emergency braking. Acura Watch was standard from 2017, making even a base-level MDX better equipped for safety than many German competitors with $5,000 option packages. Who should buy the MDX? Every single person who wants a reliable 3-row luxury SUV and values substance over status. Highway commuters, families, road trippers, anyone who plans to keep a vehicle for 200,000 miles and beyond. Anyone who is tired of watching their savings evaporate into a German service department. Who should skip it? If you want to turn heads in a parking lot, the MDX will not do it. It is handsome, but it is not flashy. If you need maximum cargo space, the MDX third row is functional for kids and tolerable for adults on short trips. But it is not as spacious as a Chevy Tahoe. And if you demand the absolute cutting edge of infotainment design, the 2017 to 2020 models will frustrate you with that touchpad. But if you can live with those compromises, you are getting 95% of the Lexus experience at 70% of the cost. Built on a Honda platform that will outlast virtually everything else in its price range, here is my final take on the MDX. If I had one SUV to recommend to my own family, if my sister called me tomorrow and said she needed a used luxury SUV for under $25,000, I would tell her to buy a 2019 Acura MDX with the SHAWD technology package, and not think twice. It will run for 250,000 miles. It will cost almost nothing to maintain. It will keep her family safe, and in 5 years, while her friends are on their second or third set of overpriced European repairs, she will still be driving the same MDX with nothing but oil changes in her service history. So, there it is. 5 luxury SUVs the market forgot about, but your wallet will not. The Buick Enclave with its whisper quiet cabin and genuine luxury at a price that makes 0 sense. The Volvo XC90, possibly the safest SUV ever engineered, selling for a third of what it cost new. The Cadillac XT6 that nobody remembers exists, but drives like something that costs twice its price. The Genesis GV80, the Korean luxury SUV that embarrasses the Germans and then depreciates like it did something wrong. And the Acura MDX, the Honda-built luxury SUV that will quietly outlast everything on this list and cost you the least while doing it. You now know 5 luxury SUVs you can buy for well under $35,000 that were engineered to compete with vehicles twice their current price. Next time you are on a dealer lot and the salesperson tries to steer you toward a 4-year-old BMW with a clean Carfax and a ticking time bomb under the hood, you will know better. If you want to know which SUVs have earned legendary status in the shop, the ones that mechanics genuinely trust for their own families, I covered that in another video. It is right here. That is over 2 decades of watching cars come and go. Like if this helped, subscribe for more no-nonsense car advice. I will keep telling you the truth that dealerships will not. Drive safe, take care of your car, and it will take care of you. Take it or leave it. I will see you in the next one.